to talk to you, hippies and stoners and slackers and skaters, people that don't want to go out and occupy the rest of the world with our Puritan ideas, what we think is natural and right. And and hi there, my retired hippie friend Randy. You might be watching this video, maybe live or probably just in the archive. And we're becoming friends. He's my nomad friend. I know him because he eats at the same soup kitchen that I eat lunch at. Food and Shelter in Norman, Oklahoma. And right now on the patio, it's 81 degrees. Feels like 80 degrees. It is a beautiful day here in Oklahoma. And uh, yeah, beautiful day in Oklahoma. Uh, we've had terrible hot days, and we're going to have terrible hot days beginning tomorrow. So I'm hoping my friend Montgomery will come by for a visit this evening on the patio. I'll call him in just a little while and say, hey, Mott, find a six pack of beer and come over and let's visit uh, about the NEED Act. And so, yeah, this is the way that we can have uh, a guaranteed annual income. And if minimum wage had kept pace with the increase in productivity since the 1950s, the minimum wage would be $50,000 a year. And that's what we should have as a guaranteed annual income, a minimum wage. And if you wanted to live on a minimum wage, you could just take your guaranteed without taxing anyone or without borrowing money from anyone. As soon as we take the power to create money away from the bankers and give it to us, like it is in the Constitution. Yeah, and you'll find a link to it in the in this about down in the bottom of this video. You'll find a link to the NEED Act and how it works. And and basically, it's what it does is we nationalize the Federal Reserve. We take it away from the bankers. You know, J.P. Morgan Chase owns almost 50% of the Federal Reserve System. Yeah. So all Jamie Dimon, the chairman of J.P. Morgan Chase, has to do is get one of his buddies to vote with him, and he decides our monetary policy. Uh, but really, what they have it all set up where we have to go to them to get loans to get the things that we want, like a car, like house. Um, Somebody said, "Well, we paid cash for all our cars." Yeah, well, it was a few years ago or months ago. And, let's see how they're doing now. And we've put aside money. We've saved for our son's education, and we have all of that taken care of. Yeah, uh, that was before the pandemic, and we can have guaranteed annual income, 50 grand a year. We can have free health care for everyone. We can have free housing for everyone. We can have free transportation for everyone. Yeah, we're going to have automated cars, and we're going to be able to punch our buttons in on our phone and have a car come from the government. Oh my God, from the government. Uh, we can't have government doing that. They'll know where we're going and what we're doing. Well, hell, they know everything now. The thing to do is change the laws so that it doesn't make a fucking bit of difference where uh, they know where we're at. That uh, we got to get, our Democrat Party is an authoritarian party. They want to tell us how to live. and and no, we want to be free. We want to have love. We want to be loved. We want to we want to have sex that we want to have, and we want peace. We don't need to be occupying other people's lands or their minds, uh, telling them what to do. And if you think about this Need Act is a real fucking revolution. It's nothing to be sneezed at. And I think most of my friends that are supporting the Need Act right now, and the ones that understand how bankers make money and how it influences, don't really understand uh, the revolutionary what we can really do. Well, you know, the hippies uh, almost uh, told us how to live, um, but they were so fucking poor, and the bankers had such a hold on them that and and the National Security Agency killed JFK and RFK, and they murdered the '60s, and the '60s were gone. Uh, they didn't die a natural death; they were murdered away from us. And let's think about Woodstock, what happened there, okay, in that muddy field. Let's think a while about the Isle of Wight in England and what's happened there. And uh, let's uh, let's empower the hippies by giving them income, housing, uh, transportation, by giving them health care, and that way they can take a bath. Okay, they'll have a place to have a shower and live, and we can do that. Uh, we can build apartments all over this country without taxing anybody, without borrowing money from anybody, and cut the bankers out completely. They decide who gets money now and how much they get. And therefore, they decide the culture that we live in. Do you like this culture that we live in? Maybe you think you do. You know, a lot of the slaves liked the master. They liked this, living on the plantation. Like slaves, uh, as Thaddeus Russell said, you know, a slave could take off and go to town for a day, for a night, for a week, for months, for a year, and uh, and he could come back to the plantation because the master had an investment in him, and would welcome him back. And, that's all in a book called A Renegade History of the United States by Thaddeus Russell. A Renegade History of the United States by Thaddeus Russell. You need to get a copy of it. I have some problems with that. We're kind of friends now, and hope to see him down in Lockhart, Texas, this fall in October. Uh, uh, maybe we'll be able to get together and chat a little bit, at least say hello and be friendly to each other for a while. And but he's a big believer in Mises and Institute and those economists, and those economists drew equilibrium curves that need to be taken off the blackboard and thrown out the window over there, uh, because they don't solve anything. They're the things that are used against us to say that we can't have health care, we can't have free transportation, we can't have uh, 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 free housing. Well, we can, sweetheart. We can do that. And when the legislation is already written, H.R. 2990 of the 112th Congress by former Congressman Dennis Kucinich of Cleveland, Ohio, who started out as a young mayor of Cleveland when he was like 21. And he beat the bankers who were trying to repossess their power company. that they use the efforts from to fund their programs for the poor. and uh, and he beat the bankers then, and he's introduced the legislation that will beat the bankers forever. It'll take them out of being able to control our lives. So, okay, stoners and hippies and slackers uh, and skaters, we need to get together. We need to think about this and ask me questions. Send me emails. Send me messages on Facebook. Uh, I say, what the hell is this about? Can we really have a guaranteed annual income of $50,000 a year? Yeah, we can. Okay. Well, I think I will sign off now. It's Tuesday afternoon. No, yeah, it's Tuesday afternoon in Norman, Oklahoma, June the 22nd, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Bye now. I will see you again soon and hope that this has got a good quality.